Yo, it's here for your boy Patrick Befi Sikasem program no and a bro no high life radio and I would no send the BAC no yaba the finances and home and some ebro and also your bibi sunko crama and I become taxes once taxes the coin before so file taxes any bibia near de tino and then the bro send you city bia no you be file a tax the other was a filing. Nti I was say timi hwɛ sɛ ne kwan bɛsi afa so me de me now for kakra ɔmo nimdie fa ho aba ɔmo bɛkyerɛkyerɛ tax na kwan bɛfa so afile tax ɛne kwan bɛfa so ama na yɛ easy ama yɛ ma akyire bi bɛkɔ akɔtrɔɛ ana bibi saa nti no sɛne yɛsie no bia no montie yɛ na ka kyerɛ onua bi no so nka kyerɛ onua bi sɛ sikasɛm program no yɛde ba de bia meka sɛ if you are working so hard ba wohu sikasɛm so a share 7 to 9 p.m. every Monday or discussing programs so High Life Radio. Your boy Patrick Befi. You train one basisia. We love money and no fight to the ceiling. Western Union, stand them come. I will keep receiving money. Highway with the day. Every day is a holiday. We fly out to Miami, Jamaica. We never stop chilling. Make me love money. Dance, make me love money. Let me dance, make me love money. Dance, let me dance, let me dance, make me love money. Let me dance, make me love money. Let me dance, make me love money. Let me dance, let me dance, let me dance. Ask for me, me not joking. Every part time we smoking. Them wonder why they can't love me.
I love it. High Life Radio.
I am the governor. That's for the first time brought home. Really babe. Brought home. Oh, yeah, catch me. Oh, yeah, only can know how we come to. Yeah. Next time will be my glorious, yeah. I've been patient. I've wasted so long. I want you to clearly now. But my mind is me love money. Dance, make me love money. Give me dance, make me love money. Dance, let me dance, let me dance, make me love money. Let me dance, make me love money. Let me dance, make me love money. Let me dance. Yo, it's here for your baby. Sene kind no High Life Radio na wotie your boy Patrick Befi Sikasem program no ene de bro no asene de BAC no you be inspire ho kakra nsa na start ene you be kan bibi kakra fa faith GDA faith faith is the ability to see the invisible and believe in the incredible. Very powerful. See faith and I say GDA eye bibi a tumi bi a ema yehu enema ehintan anase enema ehintan na ema yetimi gye anwonwaniam di nti ehu se bibi faith bibi bi a ade a ade kese pa yehwu bibi bi a agidi bibi bi a ema enase tumi bi a ema yetimi hu enema ehintan na ema yetimi gye anwonwaniam anwonwaniam edi anasa nyama afi ne bi sisi kura ne di anasa nyama yendwe ho se betimi kura aba life man anasa aba e brabo mu kura di it is wo faith bi se bi adwen bi na idea bi ba otu na pese utimi eye bibi pese wo invent bibi anasa nya no kura na wo life pese utimi change your life na wo faith a etimi boawo e ma wo duru akiri anasa etimi boa ma de opese o ye no utimi ye if say bibi a asa wo dwen ho because a three process, your thoughts, your feelings, and the action. You can say bibi a ya think any a dream any ejuma di ti ka sa ne ma ne boma e boayen e ma your faith etimi e de esi
na yɛsɛ obiara yɛwo fit etimi so mu yie because sɛnea yɛka no ɛyɛ nwanwade tumi bi a yɛwɔ dada na kasa yɛbɛkeka saa nneɛma no bom na yɛtumi de ayɛ brabom yɛtumi de aso brabom na ma yɛtumi de aduru akyire nti na kakra yɛwɔka fa faith no ho nti no sɛnea yɛsi yɛ yɛbɛtwa ho aba last one na afei no yɛastarte yɛ program no. Yo, ne mmerɛ no duru hɔ a wɔsi yɛde hyehyɛ yɛ program no so sɛdeɛ mekaeɛ no ɛnɛ yɛ discussion no bɛyɛ taxes season no 2022 no nneɛma bɛn na wɔsi yɛhu wɔ ho sɛdeɛ meka mede nkurɔfoɔ aba a ɔmbɛtumi akyerɛkyerɛ mu na ama ɛbɛtumi aboa yɛn mepatwɛ Dani ne Harry MC ɛlusu mu screen no sɛ mbɛtumi ama yɛhu a ɛwɔ screen a wetimi aba okay Harry aba Daniel
yeah
yo ene etiefo te say de mekan no yaba ye tax asem na yede bremo ne we de mema o ma introduce o mo ho ti o mo introduce ho a na afei ya start na ye the program na hyehyɛ so nti ye be start here free enua Dani ho em say why you know what mute nti nka wo mute ho na why introduction ama na ewia na your brother Harry so introduction na afei start.
My name is Daniel Laye, and
Mr.
I manage.
Dani, where the BB between a couple of between a tree, a yarn, yes, she will be anchor. Send a sick as I between a mexeno. The best way you be
sure. Yeah, my name is Daniel Laye, and I just manage a small business, Delay and Associate, into task count kakra, ni bookkeeping kakra. So basically, that's what I do.
Yeah, that's it. And welcome to Danny and your brother Harry. So my introduction can have
okay. My friend Harry. My manager, my partner, I manage a small accounting firm. I friend HHP Financial Solutions. So yeah, that's me, Harry.
Yeah, we welcome you both for the program. So send Muslim no way is casting program. Is casting so one can say be first why be is casting me in the name say a krumhano nyama bebre wo ha yeah you the two problems when it comes to finance ne so nyama bebre nyama bi one man ke betimi avoid it and so no etimi the to the ye wo han say try see boase be boaboa ye ho na ye didi ye ho komo na nyama bi betimi avoid it especially ka bebre a ye to ye ho so no ye betimi avoid it na ni na so no ya na ye adwuma wo krum ha ne ade ade kosia ne den any taxes e den at the end of the year no I will see it me file na Uncle Sam so no mai kakra na say we see so yakoma ne kakra ade bi a wontimi avoid say o ha no ma eti edu say na some nim say ne ye kromfo so sitie ye kasa and ye pay yes tax season tax we credit this year they are changing yes date no credit change e do sana na fe yes na dos too much ake they say adoso it yes na we say na we hear experts you know send ye musmusi expert mbetimi a cheche ni mum kakra na timi adrochi na say and ye yes we the experts na e de mai it in ke best start say kakra minim say yen starting free corona, because you say corona buy never be breach change when it comes to those things. Na never be breach change. It me the minim kakra so ne say say yes almost a change no. Never ya change one or two things. Yes akra now every year bia no tax no more de omusie no. And then never ye. It me instant free Harry, so corona and is the same Senate here when it comes to taxes.
Okay, so corona needs to say, corona buy, I think something was passed called the Care Act right before corona, now around corona. Exercise a lot of things with taxes, especially some of the things now 2017 Trump Tax Act, exercise, exercise kakra man say na nyoma be boko amaye. And one key thing I'll point out, if you realize that corona buying they allowed us Uma charitable contribution, like Omo or Oma offering, or Mochadi or goodwill. First, if you yes, standard deduction, you can't take any of that unless itemized deduction, and I'll bet me take a couple of it. But Sisiano, and say standard deduction, right? Can deduct up to $300 of that. This year, no sadi ni hubium. So it was one of the things at Corona time the Babe Boy. Secondly, so especially Adibako Boy and child tax credit, right? Child tax credit no Corona ne buy no omutu muko 3,600. First made 2,000 omutu 3,600. And no na ye nuanom ne mame no no na ye mom 300 a year no to add to that to get to the 3,600. This year no child tax credit na kofon biom to 2,000. So these are the two major things I'll point out. CARES Act and as a Corona buy no to help us. And as a buy no decision sharing it to help in taxes no. But this year no sadi any hobium into child tax credit last year no. You realize that this year beko phone because now a collab could be less than a certain age, I think less than 6 years, and then 3,600. Between 6 and 17 on there 3,000. Sisi anini about 2,000. Into no some of the changes are Corona buying now no ediaba. Say mini Daniel will be the become.
Yo, the new big becca one. What do we becca crab becca one? I'm say, oh, mute. Oh, mute. Yo, say, or setting up na yenche. Let's say no tax na ni be brisaro. Here to be
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just like our brother Harry said, a number of things have changed between the corona filing and what we have now. In Tisenia, yeah, nyafu in the previous filings, no, this time around, no, because of some of the changes, no, it's not going to be like that. And just like he mentioned, like the child tax credit that has changed, that is one of them. And then also talking about the dependent, like earned income credit and child tax credit. Now, no, previously when you file it, you can still even get something when you didn't earn any income. Right now, you need to earn something. You need to have a job in order for you to be able to earn that credit. So nyama bebre assistant when it comes to that. And then also there is no stimulus checks for the 2022 filing. You are not going to get any stimulus checks in case and there was you check with the IRS or you talk to your tax professional. Yeah.
Hey, and this year the associate scanner Indian funya sana maso the any associate beba.
Yeah.
Yo, so when you say at the same time, no, said they make an pay a CSC, and so many things, especially when it comes to our community. In Yamabu Onuma, Bibia and Niho, just said the old Messia canon, your money, a confusing. Adebakwa DBA may pay deductions, any credits, tax credits, any deductions. MC ani yen TSC Timinus and Camber Mube echichimu kakra amatiefo ate sene tax deduction ne your friends saying tax credit no sene city nka dan best start ya.
All right, let me start with the deductions. So when we talk about tax deductions, nyama bi wɔ hɔ a sɛ wofile with taxes you can use that to reduce your tax liabilities, right? So we have, especially when you're talking about deductions, when you're having to file using itemized deduction. When you are filing taxes now, people have two main routes. You can either do standard deduction or ubetimia use itemized deduction. And you can't standard deduction now. IRS ahwemo who say generally say who file as a single person now. Amuma wa amount ubetimia use they are reducing with tax liability. Ebimu mpeno that amount that they give, they don't like it. They want to really look at their own, expenditures and then use it to file their taxes. But the deductions, no, so you used to file, no, there are things that you can use to as deductions and some you cannot use as your deduction. So you can't say deduction. Mamima, an example. A bit to say, or in fact, to say, obi used to, let's take it a simple one like mileage. If you more have mileage, they are able to use the mileage, the business mileage, and also rules they are able to use it if they follow the rules to reduce their tax liability. Obi use medical expenses and their entire and share and see because there are limits also to that. Ebi is to me you see more mortgage interest rate to reduce your tax liability. Into nyamana you can use them to reduce your tax liability. Now you can't say ABR credits ni nyama nyama na. We have some of those credits that not necessarily expenditures you may have incurred. But that one, the government looks at you and say, okay, for instance, my example to make it easier than just the definition. For instance, if you are ma 2 and I want nkora 2, into obi a wo nkora 2 omo school and they are under the age of 18 now. So what will back one or ma credit? Credit ni say no and yet to say deduction will be me I use whether you use the itemized or the standard deduction, but credit ni say so baba kwa otimi file otimi nya benefit you beti wo kaso ama by a dear 3,000 or 3,600 a dear obi so o ba na sa ko school that's what you and the daycare and all that now more credit are or multimi mawa ultimately use the reduce your tax liability into differences now what monani said to say deductions they say you can't itemize deduction now you should have incurred those expenses but you could get credit without necessarily incurring any expenditure or any expense. Brother Ari bet me the ebiaka wamaya and great.
Okay, so nyameka for deduction and credit so the tax deductions it decreases your taxable income, right? So let's say we make you 50,000 now you're a single person. Now government say amount standard deduction of 12,900, right? Instead of say a tax over 50,000 deduction on better so by 12,900 and the remainder no na tax also, right? But credit, all the tax credits, it goes to reduce your tax liability. Into credit, what calculate your tax? Now you say, okay, we make it 50,000. Taxes are semi try 4,000. Now credit, accord to reduce that liability. Now calculate your taxes. Into a bit said, yeah, Brad Daniel Kaino. Wakakiliti or taxes say be 4,000 or child tax credit 2,000 now knock you off 2,000 amount, knock out 2,000. So always Nancy said no, the deduction you incur them, but it goes to decrease your taxable income into a $1 amount, and so before the taxes are calculated. But the credits needed, it reduces the actual taxes that you're supposed to pay. And Intina said, unya credit, no, unse credit ni to your refundable and your non-refundable. It is all refundable one to say child tax credit, no, it be 1,005 year refundable, 500 year non-refundable. Into taxes is zero. So 1,005 now a year refundable, no, and no would be bro as no sika no would be bro. That is why people try to push towards credit, because when you refundable credits it turns into checks bro. But most of the deductions it reduces your taxable income. So that is the difference between the two. And those are the main two things that you look for when you're doing taxes, whether you want a deduction or a credit. Those are the two things that you look for. So any kakra me we can.
It's not send you can I say now non-refundable a better because example make it say be 1,005 refundable. Now 500 a non-refundable. And that's a PC a better.
Say non-refundable. It just knocks off your taxes, right? Into say or taxes here 500 or taxes in Beba 0. So taxes in 1,000 be reducing by 500. But so taxes is 0 because a non-refundable portion. I know the any scare about kutuku. Only the refundable portion, no. Yeah.
And the nana Uncle Sam's ubwa. Okay.
And now just to also add a quick one, some of them are also not, will not necessarily also result in you getting a check. Sometimes they can defer the excess to the subsequent tax filing. You say, hey, you so this green, you are using solar energy and all that. When you get a credit on solar energy, they can, you can use it to deduct your tax liability. But if you don't have, they defer it to maybe they have a limit, maybe 5 years or 10 years, depending. So sometimes not necessarily getting a check, but they defer it for you to be able to use it in subsequent filings.
Yo. Your next question, maybe send me see a Putin because I have a different idea right now about may file taxes. Na me ska back. Is it good? And I say may file taxes. Let me maximize it. Me file taxes because to me, say if I file taxes and get money back, that means me sika could Uncle Sam who be bree. I will be throughout the year now.
So
I know. Let me
say it depends on where the money is coming from, right? So you can be right and you can be wrong. Say Sikana ever back near from your withholdings then all the Uncle Sam a savings account. Into oye juma no say until be brain at the end of file they are no they are brown. And no na ebi mo pese or mo calculating it to 0. Until at the end of the year, no, on the be Uncle Sam and son deneka. But if Sikana wunyani from credit, from child tax credit and income tax credit, and no the because our kola ocean and our family ocean, as Daniel said earlier on, you qualify for those credits. That's why you are getting those checks. Into say credits na browser Sikana then because credits, most of them, you don't know if you fall into them because most of them phase out. Into to me, if I calculate 2 taxes in the beginning of the year. Right. Until at the end of the year, and if you qualify for those credits, then you can get them and say, okay, because me want mommy, me file and me 4,000 back. And only a different. But if it's from your withholding, then what you are saying is true. Say, okay, me calculating my taxes in a way, me they ask Uncle Sam or no son demika. But if it's from a credit, it's a different story altogether.
And also to add a little note to say, okay, if you move percent, they be a move file, at least they get some money. And these are people, like he said, they try to have a lot of money withheld upfront. Yenti almost be income tax, so that move file on benyabi. And there is good. It depends on the behavioral pattern of the person, how they handle money. Some people, they know too well that the thing is that even if they have the money in the account, they cannot save it. They spend it. They are always buying. So by having so much money taken out from the account and at the end of the year they have a check. Now mom bulk money some person would be no more. Baby musu they have plans for their money. They have projects in Ghana or more. So they want to make sure say at the end of the day on the car soon so it depends on your how you handle money. So she I would say it's better say ube and senior beya undika too much and IRS indica like would not owe you too much money at the end of the day.
It's in this make us say, but is it good? Say if I say me or client, my band make say, okay, I mean to me who up money. Well, to me percent come me yet said the IRS in taking more, non no, menya. My point, maybe I mean, how
I
make a
know,
can say,
I don't know. I would say, me say that is the share. I would say it's a display of say sasa kind of the amount right when you file your tax and you say the amount with interest.
Hey, me a
And it you'll be better off like using your money or saving it in you can have if you have this what we call it it could be a bond, it could be a CD. Put that money into a year to fix deposit. I'll be small interest also. It will be better because we see there won't mean use as kind of rough.
Until
It's still the same idea like locking your money till it matures. Now wait to me unsa aka. So I would rather recommend that, or maybe I say mimi no say if I have to do it, mimi pesa option say IRS be holding me sikana man.
Hey, no, don't you me because on that obet me.
I'll bet you.
Yo. Eti aha no na mpese ye tie ase yi pa because people be tie ase so wo no onyam scan office we nyam scan ti no onim say sometimes no cry because they say you say at this time here wo musisi e hwem a they say savings cry no say abasoro kakra if you put your money in savings near there say I be nam 3.3 na 3.4 near there eti no rather than say you know say so we now situation because just last year and a half ago no now you won't get that amount of savings. Now it was about point something, point 10 and there. But as I say now, with this situation, the MC ultimate nyana the top money market be ultimate the statistics was stashia go crana. At least a bema bibi kakra or so. Than so bet nanko sam. I be na honey and tias internet explain way. The next one now, say sa marginal income tax rate no and brackets no crash send it here. Boy nim sad and once a koya near it's good see be sani money wom say bibia no especially when it comes to finance ne sani mana enye na wo ye kra na ya na nema bi wo so wote ase wote ase se ne sitie nya no nche se wo kona wo challenge expect no oye by wote ase a ya na ye ti mu chechim kakra ma se ne tie sa marginal income tax bracket na say rates no se ne tie.
Okay. I think so. I will pull something up now. Maybe my brother Harry. Wait me actually single filer na me share maybe married filing jointly. Not to me easy.
Me will be meaning some to so am me hwese me
I have it here. So you bet me be share.
Okay.
So to me so the two so it's easier to
explain. We now can different kakra.
Yes, exactly. That's the rate. And no.
Where you good?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, my just meet me. I'm gonna he kakra bi enkoso kakra. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yo. Who ni ye there?
Yeah, me who no ye. Inti odi metre baako ase na bra Harry so afabi akre mo ye. So young fan to say me a single guy.
Pacho, before you go on, my name say Winnie okay because I'm saying we 21 or 2021.
I think 2022 is okay.
This okay.
This is more
okay. Yo, all right.
Like
it.
Okay. So baby, who say we have the 2022 marginal tax rate. Those rates usually doesn't change from year to year. They barely change those rates. Okay, so the 10%, the 12%, 22%, the 24%, the 32, 35, 37 usually doesn't change and it's from year to year. But the income bucket now, the threshold now, and usually from year to year, depending on the economy, it changes. And at this year, it's a 2022 dear, need like 2023 dear currently, they changed it because of the inflation.
Okay.
We are experiencing. They have bumped it up by 7%, senior at least, and reduce your tax. And this is how it works. So young fun is to say, me 2022, me earning $45,000 at the end of the year.
Which is a 22, right? 22% bracket.
It's not all the money will not be taxed at 22%. So it's based on the bucket. So the 45,000, yes, your maximum will fall within the 22%. But senior say from zero, so any zero or $1 through 10,275 now. Of that 45,000, 10,275, okay, of that amount will be taxed at 10%.
Okay.
Now, into ubeti 45,000 na me earn here no. Ubeti 10,275 a free. It is at 10,000 you better say with 10%. Now me free more I 34,725.
That's 7. Okay, yes.
So that 34,000 now akano. And I beg it falls within the next bucket, 12%.
12%.
So
okay.
not all the 34,002 is going to be taxed at the 12%. Okay, not all. So now we have to look at the top bucket. So first of all, yeah, Shemwa, Ube said 10 first one, yeah, see 10,000, 10,275.
275,
And then the next one, the difference between the 10,275 and the next bucket, which is 41,775, that difference between that, which is 31,500. Okay, the difference between the higher end of the first 10%, which is 41,000 minus the 10,000, the difference is 31,500. That 31,500 will be taxed at 12%.
Okay.
It is 45,000 now me earning, all you have to do in terms of simple calculation is for 45,000, the would take 41,775 free mark. Ebeka with 3,225. In the portion I bet charge you 22% income tax rate on is only the 3,225.
Okay. Nti sana ye de bekwa kusi the last one.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Nti ne say the whole amount no. We dey for what you. Yeah, the whole amount no ye ne sa. Just that portion.
Marginal increase.
Okay, marginal increase. No. Good. All right. Nti brother Harris Bay we am na. Because me who when the me machine is 32 days, I know a day, 32 to 35 days. But we crashed on the crass be mu. I can some pretty power. Because to me, boy, Juma Kakra, they say so because of remote.
Yeah, Nami hurry discussion about it before we came, because Nani income bucket na affect na or he take 37%,
Yeah.
It's not you per se you throw IRS crime and bone common because Nani dear no affected 37%.
And because so this is kind of now it doesn't make sense because you're talking of 37% of if I say 500 krana. It's almost bare 200 crowds and I could be 200, bare 180 and 160 crab baby. Yeah.
That's right. And that is also the reason why I said if you must suggest say on say earning from usually the rich doesn't really save money on this earned income, with wages and earned income. That's why they do other things, other businesses.
Yes.
For having side gigs, and then also the tax savings like the 401ks and all those things, which say mrema your mrea akasa about some of it. Yeah, Harry, if you're talking, you are muted.
Sorry. Yeah, Patrick. So Adebakwa and person may cover marginal tax rates, or can be about remote, So first of all, this is after your deduction, right? Until let's say so make 50,000 and 42 omotu deduction if you are the so this is on your taxable income, not on your gross and but second thing I can say, it worries on more 2 or more jobs, a home a lot, right? Because when you're stressed with withholdings, right? Into me year a juma back on our job 1, and no me make you 41,000. You're withholding me only at 22%, right? May you another job and you try me 41,000, and also you're withholding me at 22%, right? What do you mean? My 80,000, but out of 80,000, you're withholding only 22%. But so the 80,000 be calculate here, may kikako with 24%.
Yeah.
Well, until me withholding a car maybe at the end of the year, and it doesn't tally. It's because I'm doing 2 or more jobs. Until so you have 2 or more jobs, you have to look at the total income at 2 jobs in the bar, and then tell them. So sometimes, there's a form W9. You can tell them to withhold additional. Never one with me because last year's one thing that I saw a lot. So mom we had 2 or more jobs, I no more because they withhold at 1 job rate. But the 2 niboma because the tax system is progressive, every extra dollar you make behind your tax or your marginal tax rate goes higher, right? So it's something that we should take note. Tell you 2 or more jobs are put the 2 incomes together and look at how much you should be withholding at. And no at the end of the year, on the kind of you are withholding 100,000. If 100,000 or bracket here around 24%. We have 2 jobs, 100 or 100 or 200,000 into brackets near 32%. Into because taxes, we're withholding only 24% of the 200,000. But we can 32%. Now there is a gap that you have to pay. So it's something that I think we should be mindful of when, especially more than 1 job. So it doesn't worry or more business, or your W2 or some business. It doesn't really worry them because I know about they have deductions and was scheduled C as well. It helps them reduce their income. I'm talking about more 2 W2s. What 2 W2s are with deductions, only any deductions you can get apart from your standard or your itemized deduction. So a hard drink kakra.
Okay. Yeah, Danny Cram, my website, I'm someone for me more about it. So in this situation, if we W2 1, Nankawunya 1099 is it better or is still gonna be the same?
No, I think that is better because the 1099 in a way makes you like a sole proprietorship. So it gives you a leeway ma unya deductions kakra. Unya deductions to say will be our registered business, but unya deductions kakra. But with the W2 there, unya deductions at all. Because yeah.
Edium.
It is a OE2 W2 are 1099 back one. Sometimes a no that is if the company will allow you to also be back 1099 or back W2.
It is a me fancy say okay, go ahead.
And idea back one me who your family and your chrome for say ebia ye adwuma bi to say ebia adwuma ni bi wo ha ye kwa almost send a check almost deduct tax be and free so. What I would suggest is say just calculate it and now find somebody who are done for now who tax person now and then bon komo now a chill now wait me to your state tax no so any federal tax no precom. Oh, you and suffering will now calculate now. You pay them upfront, and no a boa nasa who file tasa. Ultimately, the count say, oh, material task was so a boa, especially with if you're always seeing a job be nasa seeing any agency no. Or more the dirty task, or more pay how be a or more mouse canina. Exactly. I was say, Uti would be an out here precum because he can OD you and say, be tia sometimes aiding kakra.
Wow. It's my go back to it. It's emphasis me W2 na me wo emphasis me W2 na me 1099 na say me register company there. But sometimes it be a company na be register it be any bibia towards the
no. So sir, main can say by force 1099 that's a register company. I'm saying so you get deductions, but Ubi a register company no gets more deductions. And
that's no Ubi more of
yes,
business person.
because on a more structured. Oh no benya deductions kakra, you know, it be our gas or transport 1 or 2B, but a lot of deductions. This will be a well structured company. So 1099 you still get deductions that will help reduce income now. But to what Danny was saying, you know, no matter the income you are making, whether it's being 1099 and I say maybe our side gig, you know, make sure say estimated taxes kakra to right into say Okoye CNN Yama will be $1,000 check and TBB and free ma. It's better sell better be 28-30% to be at all. Because we sell better federal any state taxes. And sana social security and Medicaid. Obi into ya. Say Obi into ya na 1099 now file you don't have any W2. One out to the social security cost employer and bit to your amount. Into the and commitment to your half no to your double because we are 1099. Inti also an 30% to knowing say make a file medical federal tax, medical state tax, medical social security, Medicaid, and also self-employment taxes. When we are talking about Obi 1099 and Obi W2 1099.
And in this case, no, what to na at the end of the tax season, which you are na so which you are straight na. Street now.
Quarterly is better.
At least,
yes, okay. Quarterly is better. Because at the end, no, Imrani different because at the end, no, say what the car, failure to pay, failure to withhold, with a lot of interest and penalties. So the car at the end of the tax year. It is better so to earn every quarter and no a bit since I'll be trying at the end of the tax year.
Pacho, hold on, Mama Kakra. Hold on, Mama Kakra. Hold on, Mama Kakra. Yo, Mr. Oyenkoso.
Yeah, so as I was saying, and I'm for an estimated tax payments, so throughout the year, we make estimated tax payments every quarter year. As Daniel was saying, only or tax preparer and as a accountant.
Pacho, Harry, hold on, man, be my. And what the current essay. Yo, Mr. Yankoso.
Yes. So I think as we've both echoed, we'll make estimated tax payments, going forward. And until tax preparer and as our accountant kasa, or no better say, okay, this is how much you are making it. Every quarter be a new to say ultra checking out come IRS and no at the end of the year or file taxes. So that is will be our year 10 solely 1099. That is what we think.
Yeah. Because sometimes in our kind of crowd, better say or tax preparer and say or accountant. Because yeah, we nimso buhan say person yes difference now be triani I don't know. You say you crew for so the usually say we crama we cry chat because on the yema or ye dada. It's no call which channel the difference near the na which me who the obit me aye ama anyway. It's a share win so as I imagine a year near share and I said and also the same for the family name the family one anyway the same, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Married filing joint and head of household and the married filing separate. Yeah.
Marlin filing separate. Okay.
Yeah. And
See, and
someone
think it's almost close to infant
the
say
single, no.
single no.
Yeah. And
Okay,
the
and then
single is not the same.
head of household no, so you're a little bit under the
The
friends
married filing
the
joint.
married okay yo. TM say your next one you share next one I bet me high standard deduction in 2021 2022 MC I can't want to
Yeah.
yeah I can't want to TM share a difference standard you know say na nipa you bring nim send you city to send it here when it comes to the standard deduction say the sika involved no so be on ma mostly the men so be on ma on test chinch up said you deduct ye na the oye na deduct ma no me wa to ne bi kra na the standard one no cry okay chain no
Yeah.
yen ka bibi kakra fa ho ne nhwe.
Yeah, I think in the explanation of deduction versus credit, Daniel hinted to it. The government has given you the leeway. So there are two things: there is a standard deduction and itemized deduction. Although itemized deduction, boom, now more than the standard deduction, you take the itemized deduction. So if the standard deduction is more than your itemized deduction, then you take the standard deduction. Itemized deduction, most of the time, obi a wo fie, or medical bills be with you over a certain threshold, with your state taxes. State taxes, we property tax, be a normal capping at 10,000. You can deduct more than 10,000. Into this annual money now, boom, now you're single. Now it's more than 12,950. Then you take the itemized deduction. But if a less than 12,950, then you choose or you take the standard deduction. So between the itemized deduction and the standard deduction, mostly I hardly see single people who go over the standard deduction. For your single or W2, what's your apartment, home to die. Normally you don't have a lot to go over the standard deduction. But a band of married filing joint for now, most of them, they have to be careful with the standard deduction because most of them go over the 25,000. Or the charitable contribution or medical bills, or the nini abuma, it will push you over the 25,900, and that is what you are supposed to deduct. I don't know, Daniel, if you want to add something to it.
Before Daniel go cry, no cry no. Say I think I was reading something about this. Just say most Americans, a deduction in Drew. The standard no.
Yeah.
It is most likely to say more than because he in Drew.
Yeah. Especially the state taxes to 10,000.
Most Americans.
We state taxes, if you remember, or other ones, hardly said will be Drew.
Even with the friends that joint in the married and it's very hard. You broad the kakra
Sure. Yeah, maybe one is to say my brother Harry Kyan and I also Kyan say who finally this ABA we a married couple that's a move file that's a move file separately. Say Baku use standard deduction now. The other person cannot use itemized deduction. Okay, so Muninamu use itemized deduction now. Both husband and wife must come together and agree on how they want to file the deduction. We are taking standards, especially when you are doing it separately. Separately, no, back home to me, you use itemized deduction. Now, back one, you use standard. When I was file using one, what do we call it? Yes. So you can't just do it separately. The other thing I'm again is whenever you use the itemized deductions now, I can always tell you most of the IRS audits in terms of you keeping records and all that, it's a gray area. And so when you have certain amounts, you blowing things up just to make sure say and all that, no. you are also, you expose yourself. Yeah, you expose yourself to receiving a letter from, a notice, especially say, certain thresholds, ninyamani be a dos or more. Would be brave and all that, and now one year by some kakra, yeah, and one America.
Especially BBS, be and shading your own shadany business, doing shadany BB na well, I said that's a blue.
Example, yeah, charity, for charity, like
I'm
charity.
saying, yeah, baho, yeah, charity also.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To say, a be a crana, share be a Juma cry na the dashing of a soy and crowd team saying, found baby, and so still no person of force.
Obasa no catch out a fashion mommy.
I know, come in this situation, as a special, come to taxes now. Ubi bano or yes, I didn't know catch advice and I will go insist still no. Father Shima.
Me personally, one dear. Most of the clients that come are reasonable people. You tell them the risk involved now, they are able to understand. Say you need to have support.
I'm saying, me what the crunchy I didn't kick it to us. Hold on, Pacho, hold on. Yo, Pacho Koso.
Okay, so most of the people are reasonable to the extent that when they are adding just say unsupported expenses and all that, that's only a car. Most of them are multi-year. But a bit more now on TSC now per se, can do it the way I want it now. One thing I want to put it out there is that, say, you have some deductibles, expenses, all this shemuna is unsupported. Most often, no, the onus and I like to have a proof. No, it's not with the tax preparer now prepare no. The Sebibiba one, usually you, the person who your social security or social security is on it, no, you the recipient, no, you the one who is filing the taxes, no, it comes to not the filer. You are responsible. There are other things that the filer, yes, comes into play, but I would say you become responsible for putting in, excessive advice. And maybe my one is say BBI should be reasonable.
So Nipan for so now. We man cry now. Oh no, you won't be held responsible.
Yeah, we say, sorry to interject. A bit more, yeah, you are not responsible. Be the panel, and then a bit more, if you are what a key your mind to the software, why you be now I frail be full. Oh, yeah. Obet me ya mami. Oh, yeah, mami cry me nya.
10,000.
5,000. Would you know ye 4,000? And you was to see me. And your mami find money pano. Maybe a nipa no the of course on care. No, the share mama or not boom. But sometimes the issues no bar. We won't say receive calls. No more for task prayer. No, say me the that you see me for we bra see we for anyway. Mami, and they was say.
So Patrick, me kind of from the other way. No. So be about how we taxes or see if I be shame. But I'll say the other way, say Obia your taxes man, Obia prepare taxes man. Make sure say you know whatever is in the taxes. As is being said, no, when letters nearby will be addressed to you, not to the one who prepared for you. Right. Correct. So if you understand whatever that goes on into the taxes and only back up now, say banner until campo, at least you have an idea of what to submit. And now when you see provider, you know what to provide. Right. So Obiaya taxes small and yes, all can say when you're 2,000, when you're 10,000, what done. At least understand what went into the taxes. And if a credit and now be unya that refund now, understand why you are getting the refund, because mostly what reduces your taxable income nowadays are or more auditor and non auditor, because they want to discredit that and then you pay the money back. So understand what is in your taxes now, your filing amount, and that will help you, because filing there, like sometimes it's very difficult to get them, especially after tax season. So just try and understand what goes on in your taxes.
Yo, and chief we can say, and you say, I don't know, when you tax expert and I say tax preparer and I say when you accountant, but be a cost to be at least also a so kakra. It's to say the your brother Harry Kano, be sabia and at least also making sure so we the what tax in Yamo the account. Won't tiasia, between Ubisa ma, because to say they can hard, we after tax season, we need the crowd, especially tax preparation. We say we want accountants and kasa omode omodjuma na omode time no but tax preparation season ni dura wa be season ni twema okọ just akra for friend kra no kra usually omo tax preparation and kasa kra no it comes to that stage now you won't even see them because omo need the credentials no kra to battle that with the IRS back and forth it make sure so we nim the word nim the ekoso se be ma bibia enkofa bibi mrel because who say most of the time no obi obey sad na wi me fa bibi shame I quite remember say a chepa me yes me see me here ska me kwe was it we sure me see I was you bet me at no I need the money and yeah they did this shame ma me this is shame ma this can so ba I say was 5,000 was a visa but yeah j sata we single we ni hwe I did that we ni ba we ni hwe I did that 5,000 oh, and you be anyone it wasn't making sense. But what you 5,000, we call baby, when you say, yeah, well, 5,000, I end up paying your friend say 15,000, you throw me back, say me meet. So what the BBS shame say me, yeah, Juma me to the and dear Africa, but it was my fault. Me, they catch and say me pay. Oh, fancy shame. If he say, be away. And honestly, yeah, and buy. It's lucky no cry many iris me no communicate me am cram so me sorry na me nim say obi na ye ma me nka wo say me tua 8,000 almost fabra ye me ko kakeke na me say ka be opin convince almost say okay na me famra meanwhile to me 5,000 say it's for bare 3 seasons no man je tax sana clear na e di try tinia usually will say careful you let say be adru halfway yeah time no tinka me be say nke be commercial break abanaka yɛbɛba bia bɛyɛ within 3-4 minutes na ka mo so mapensu kakra bia no na bibisa na wapagya mu kakra nti yɛmfa sɛ yɛmfa sɛ bɛyɛ 8404 na yɛmmra back na anyway yo atiefo yɛ dan ho aba mo ntwɛn yɛ ba no why
You're listening to the hottest online radio station, High Life Radio. I love it. High Life Radio.
We love money and no One fight to the ceiling, Western Union, send them come. I will keep receiving money. I will receive. Every day is a holiday. We fly out to Miami, Jamaica. We never stop cheating. Make me love money, let me dance. Make me love money, let me dance. Make me love money, let me dance. Let me dance, let me dance. Make me love money, let me dance. Make me love money, let me dance. Make me love money, let me dance. Let me dance, let me dance. Ask for me, me not joking. Every bad man is joking. Them wonder why they can't love it. Everything we do, worry. Me and the dancer, I am the governor. That's how the first them brought home. Mini baby, draw home. Oh, yeah, catch me. Oh, yeah, put me. All the time, how we come to, yeah. Next time will be my glorious, yeah. I've been patient. I've waited so long. I want to see clearly now. But my get me love money, let me dance. Get me love money, let me dance. Get me love money, let me dance. Let me dance, let me dance. Get me love money, let me dance. Get me love money, let me dance. Get me love money, let me dance. Let me dance, let me dance.
Yo, it's here for your baby High Life Radio and our TNO Sikasem program no and the bro no your boy Patrick Befi, the host. Send your no a tax season into tax once in the eka. Your pension kakra no commercial break afina ya saba ya babe to adwumadi so. I think say you hurry e wa ha. You be train you done but before say be train no bro see betimi akoso ansana waba.
Oh, okay.
It started. TM say it drew him here. I'm say a question near come about tax deduction.
Yeah, standard deduction.
Standard deduction. Yeah. A standard deduction. It's tax deduction and I'm saying can want some tax deduction and credits to consider for the tax deduction any credit I am consider for season 2022. Anything yeah, it's because sometimes yeah be one more it will never be cry and kai and as never be nim say ubetimi use for it. Hence so what are the common stuff be a betimi there I consider for the tax for 2022 anyway.
Yeah, so once I can deductions and the credits are very customized. Obiani situation is different. So Obia one mommy no benya child tax credit. Obia onima is not eligible for child tax credit. No. Obia one mommy no ne mano he or she also makes a little. Obet me earn income tax credit. No. Actually the earn income tax credit no and no air credit amount for JSCA or tables. So it's one of the credits. Anytime you prepare your taxes, ask your tax preparer and say, why do diligence for any income tax credit to make sure, say, if you qualify for the earned income tax credit, you are making use of it. Especially single mothers now, they don't make a lot. No, it's one thing that it really helps them with their refund. So I've talked about the tax credit, the earned income tax credit. Or more school lifetime opportunity credit, it's also available for them. That's one thing. Ubia school and now school, or more college, SAR credit is available for you. You can get combined 2,500 refundable and non-refundable credits combined. And that will help you reduce your tax liability. And I make part of it refundable. So taxes nisa kra ubinya biaba. account or check home. So these are some of the main credits that you have to look out for. About the deductions, no. To be honest with you, when it comes to the deduction, your business owner or your side gig, a conversation you need to have with your bookkeeper or your tax preparer. You list all your expenses, and then the person can walk you through. Because Babe, it's all your delivery business, right? Now what to car? Now your delivery business I can deduct that for you, right? But if Daniel at a car, now Daniel in the office on the basement, or 1099 in the office on the basement, no koto car. If you did who deduct this car now, when IRS come against you, it's very difficult for you to defend the reason why you bought the car. Right. So one business can deduct it. One business will deduct it. Different will be difficult. Yeah. Yeah. So, and only a very customized about side deductions. Now, into no tax preparer and the home command, no church or all the pros and cons of those deductions. Right. And they are not my clients be any leading common. Wakoto entire like suits near there. Also the coach mind here, so or deduct it. And he was right in asking that question because a doctor koto scrubber now or the call ejuma that scrub and a nurse koto scrub not ejuma, those things are deductible. Into or a consultant what suit not then any deductible. But only IRS cases they want to see say ejuma logo and I'll be on before you can deduct it because suits now what now do ejuma and also between the sorry. Right. So or tax preparer and no accountant would your expenses once a month and a home come he would know best what fits your business and what can be deducted and not deducted. But I'll say so when you go to your tax preparer, open up any expenses, maybe ask Fibia on an income and based on that, so we pick one or two expenses. We are crample. You might not think so it's deductible. But also you can deduct that. So it's an open conversation now. No bookkeeper now, no tax preparer should have when it comes to deductions. Danny, I don't know if you want to add something to it.
Sure. I think one quick thing I want to add is that most of these discussions, for you to even benefit and have the like enjoy your returns now, it's great to have it early on in the year. It's great. For instance, like for this year's tax filing, I'm not talking about 2022. We are in January. This is a good time to start tax even planning. This is a good time. Most companies actually they started tax planning from last year for this year because of the laws that are changing. Early on in the year, when you talk about some of these things, it helps you to prepare and then also know how to go about things. Brother Harry mentioned like the car issue, like mileage you want to claim and all that. Yeah, if you really plan early on in the year and you have a business and sometimes it's personal, sometimes it's business, not say you want to deduct some portions and all that, then there are apps that you can use to make sure say once you are moving the car, you drive from here to here, that it's tracking. So if it is business, you have a tracker so that if they come and ask you for support, you can use that tracker, the mileage tracker to say, okay, this is for these purposes or this meeting and all that. So it's great to have these conversations early on with your tax professional in the year.
Sometimes they be on my your friends say, "Oh, share the difference now. Will be the car, or personal business, or we basement, or still the car, a mileage deduction. It is sometimes a boy entirely. So you're being say in fanship. But my understanding, if correct me if I'm right, my understanding is business. And I say, first, your friend is saying, I say, business, our first transport, I'm saying, no, it's not deductible. Then after that, it's if I have a business at home, said my first transport could be from my bedroom to my kitchen. Then after that, say deductions to start your because the office is in my your friend say in my house, right? It's my basement. Then the first travel from my bedroom to my kitchen is a travel there.
That law not even available. It used to be available for one or two jobs. Say for first driving to your first job, you can't take it. But from your second, your your first job to your second job, you could take that mileage. But even Trump here, we know we free. And I make us your nature of your business. Yes, the nature of your business is very important. So yeah, realtor. So free if you crack all next house now the dying kotra that mileage you can deduct it. Ultimately,
even
and I make a tell me yes, me IT specialist. Now me 1099 in my basement or na my office. How am I going to justify mileage? I am a driver car. That's how you see it. At the end, say Irish shower. How are you going to justify it?
Yes, how are you going to
And Daniel can but you ask yourself, say, how am I going to justify this? So the nature of your business is very important. Say, maybe my business, my accountant, now me driving from client to client. Driving now me driving a client on a make into me deduct mileage. I can justify. Say Monday me call client A or B, me call Tuesday me call client B or right. But what if you could take mileage is difficult. So why your taxes now opera the abana mileage or so ask yourself say my business where I'm in, can I justify the mileage? Ultimately, yeah. So that is how you look at the expenses, yeah.
Yeah, free. Yeah, I'm saying much church in mum kakra ni ade yenko technical kakra wo. To say tax year versus tax season. What is the difference? Because some taxes are for tax year. If it's almost a tax season, is it the same? And I say difference view.
So then you can go.
Yeah, so you see, tax year, like tax year. Generally, what uka tax year about most professionals, unimi kasana uka tax year. It means that year now any income, year babe, and now year now will file will tax returns now found. To say, men fan said tax year we are in 2023. But the tax year we are looking into right now is 2022 tax year.
Okay.
And our tax season no, is we are in 2023. So this is the season who finally, the 2022 tax years. Taxable income or your tax filing. So generally tax year, no year period now. It is last year.
Tax no.
Yeah, TTO tax. And I usually can't tax here now to say busy season or tax season now. Yeah, this is the season I started to say I reckon and then I started to say file tax for the 2022 tax season. This is the day IRS open their portals to accept filings. And no kakana we work on I will be a brary.
And me find no crank count say your fan say this year no your fan say you be the portal now or kind of crana who file tax no early answer beginning of the year I'm a file tax for the 22 which is the season the year now I'm a file taxes no for no it no see MBA no crana still no me Irish accept it right it's going to be holding
they
you can handle it but you cannot
find it.
You can mail it to them. You can mail it. You could do. I send them better to start processing.
But online processing,
so baby, portal and they enter me until they open the portal.
Yeah, and I said, when can I file my taxes? When the time when I bit me file taxes because at the same time, see, you say. Most people also want to file on tax. Go to table tax near the normal to go up to say, when can I file my tax? Yeah, when? TF said this year no time when I file my tax.
Yeah, so this year no, it starts from today or April 15th. That is original tax season. Of course, they give extension. Why won't we filing on between the extension at June 30th? Or more foreign. Some people get extension up to October 15th. But the tax season and Kasana, you have to file your tax now. It started from today. And January day, it's every year. in the beginning of the year, and IRS will come out and announce the date that they will start accepting the taxes. So from that day now, they will announce not till April 15, and not the tax season, as Daniel said, no. And normally behind the tax season, tax season or more file for the year before. Until we catch us say, oh, there's a tax season 2023, it means the tax year is for 2022. Right.
2022.
And now
tax year
we
for 2022.
IRS problem. They are now. Yeah. Into a tax season now, it means that we are filing for the previous year. And now, when saying be IRS, I said now could be make sure you are mentioning the tax year, right? Because yeah, well, 2022, so also tax issue be now member can. It's all catch so issue and I'm no back just to be clear on
no more
what we are talking about.
There's that way, yo. Okay, it is say no. I'm say yeah. You say I can't touch on the if I say the charitable necessarily can dive in kakra about charitable deductions no and
just before you move that one quick one, you say so far today, file with us this and this week. That's all file with us now. So we're able to say end income credit to be a IRS or mobile train obenya will returns and now be it will be after mid-February. Okay, so just so that those who want to file with Tabotas right now and all that, they should know say earn income credits do more nyama na almost delay kakra to through February.
And the emphasis charitable deduction no ebi ne de he ne sen ne tie because minim say charitable deduction no say Trump time no mo ye bibi kakra na first na sen ka say utimi eye ne bebree say so ma ya adjust ne kakra it in sen ne tie ne sen adjustments no sitie say Harry Bekwa ana say Harry free so I feel so try so back Obeko. And I want to make me say a charitable deduction and say previously no name say we bet me at 10 or more. So to me we charity be but same say you be an bit me deduct if I'm right send it here any adjustment from previous now.
Okay. So initially I mean in 2020 and 2021 they allowed say you're single now and I say even you're married now take you just the standard deduction now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, too
hello,
loud and clear.
Okay. We are single and now we are single and now you're even married now take you the standard deduction now. Before 2020 now you can't take any charitable contribution. 2020 and 2021 they allowed you say to me it take you 300 when you are single and 600 if you're married from it. Sorry. But when you are itemizing your deduction most of the time you can deduct up to 25% of a contribution and usually 15% of your taxable income, right? And it makes sense because how say you made only 10,000 and so how much charitable contributions of 14,000, right? So they've limited your charitable contribution to a limit of how much you can deduct, per year. Now, but the good thing is I think some of them roll over. I can check, not very sure, but some of them can roll over to the next year, the charitable contribution. So even though we deducted some percentage, next year and they can be to me deducted their work. Patrol out in American answer.
In the next year, no say even one charitable a EBR crown na say
previous year didn't be few.
It's not more for me yes I didn't say I'm making my income be 10,000 by my charitable my charity be 15,000 now more for me yes
yes sir, you forget charitable deductions. It's not only cash. Until be our couch be out the because of the value near the bear more than even how much you are making, right? If you crowd home to the stock scratch into if your stocks be out or maybe $10,000. See how they chart, it's worth more than how much you bought it for. So I know that causing profit to get higher charitable deduction more than their income. No. But they also realize that some people are just inflating their charitable deduction.
Of course.
Atari not only 20 crown or the cost Salvation Army and not or they should say 50. So it inflates the charitable contribution. It's more limited to how much you can take per year. So that is the limit.
And quick kakramini beka say like usually with the charitable deduction, of course, just say why itemize it because of even the limitation we are single will itemize the expenses is not so high more than your standard deduction now. Salvation Army nature it will be beneficial say will be using exactly the standard deduction.
Now I'm saying we across I'm saying that there's a you ha amount for TSC Bibriwo. I'm saying Trump a tax there was a lot about estate a tax how is that and then send a city estate tax
Yeah, so what happened is first, if I make payment to the state, both tax payment and property taxes, no matter how much I make, I can deduct everything from it. But with the Trump Tax Act and Job and Tax Cut Act, nearby, every state was limited into no matter how much you pay to the state, you're only allowed to deduct only up to $10,000 of payments that you make to the state. So about property tax, state taxes, more limited to only $10,000. Most of the high income states, say California and New York, because in New York, state taxes and can be about 20,000. Some of the states, had a way around it. They'd be more helpful to put it in charitable contribution. Even currently, Atlanta might pass a law via or business or S corporation. The rest of between their far business name as taxes that you pay, so you can get a deduction. But my friend saying, "Oh yeah, pure vanilla."
I know for the state amounts deduction.
Yes, because someone say unyan or federal until more credits on the state level. Okay. But on the federal, the mark cap, any payments you make to the state, you can only deduct up to 10,000. And the idea for, as you said, a man be fall below the standard deduction, and the man will be taking standard because no matter how much you've paid in your property tax, any taxes you pay to the state, you are limited to 10,000. Into a normal man will be fall under the standard deduction. Most people, yeah.
And there's a state like state like New Jersey, so more property tax is very, very high.
Yeah.
And because I think very, very high. That means it doesn't matter. Say property tax was about 20,000-30,000 grand, still 10,000.
Only 10,000. And at 10,000, it's not only your property tax, plus your state income tax.
So everything combined.
Combined. It's limited to only 10,000. And that's why it made a lot of people fall below the standard deduction threshold. Because and on an amount of cross year itemized deduction because Otuan property tax now and then the taxes are added for the state or the BOMA at least they're not pushing above kakra. But now that thing is no more until the 10,000 cap makes people fall below that way standard.
Yo. Yenshe hassle. Brother ni yenshe way. Child your friends and child and dependent care credits send and also send it here because usually the team say child the same and another child but at the same time some say dependent care, right?
Yeah. To say my example to make it easy say me cry say me won't cry two girls are more called daycare. Now more call school na say metua your friend is more school fees. Now more call campaign na metua more campaign fees. Extra like to say I'm upon school be am ye juma me before mo into my late into your mo hold your mo school now met your extra and all that that is dependent care into no ultimate sikana will spend it on these kids now at the end of the year, no school no betting at that expenditure now, one care in paying tuition and all that. That's dependent care, maybe a daycare B and all that. No, ultimately you sue and no be filing taxes. And sa credit now, kind you know, say back one ba me na me no without even say incur any expenses on them no. Say back one, only say at the end of the year, depending on the rate. So this year 3,000 now only say nya 1,500 back home. Back be onya 1,500 two ebia obenya 3,000 and no ni a credit now child care credit no any dependent care difference no ebia very odi be if you want to add something now.
Yeah, okay. So also kind of say child independent care credit. And see, sometimes for more elderly people, they depend on them, they can claim that credit. But if we all file separate, you can't claim the elderly people as a dependent on your taxes. So that's one thing. More elderly people, they are not working or not taking any social security. It's possible, say, you can get that dependent care credit for them. I think the maximum is 500 for each person. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and at this point, you're going into more of the income ness and a 401k rot wire no send and also ye be the benefits nika crane home. I mean, yeah, no pan ye but this is more of the taxes no side no, because I know say most of these friends say programs no are tax deferred. Be so hard and say you pay your taxes. It's much muka crowd or dear say yeah at the end it me boy or home might be why you make more income crana because you probably won't take advantage of those things no. Maybe I'll make more income now take advantage a bit me up wow. Tia should be kakra on 401k. Send a bit to me boy or your taxes.
Okay, so to say 401k no, depending on the type that you contribute to now. There are two main forms how me are contributing. You can have the Roth or the traditional. Into say you can't traditional now. Try say no Osika na wodi to senior beya dachi uko retirement now you can get something no. Sasika ni yedi to mawa yen titas and free so ene. So say na ye till na say the two sa account no mawa no taxes on it. So uko pension na mo yi omu tax na every month income na wa earning na ya titas na every month at that point in time. And I what Roth no eno no wode osika no to ene na wo ka se wode timitas na ene sene ebe ya se wode sika no to you invest that money na se income bi baso a me call retirement na me yi me sika me mpesed aban beti tax bi am free so ni to ni nyina depending on your income and now depending on individual situation now whichever one you choose is correct, depending on your tax situation. Obi will say, Abia, this year, no, like, oh, making so much money. And you want to make sure, say, Abia, too much tax this year, right? You can do the traditional. Senior Beya, it will defer your tax for you. It helps you to reduce your tax liability because they are not taxing you right away. And then also say rot nana say oh yeah. And no ABR right now you think depending on your tax situation now you fall under certain buckets now it will be beneficial in the future. One thing I make comfort to now say normally people take money out of that account. People take money, and if you have any such early withdrawals now, sometimes it can have tax implications. Obit a penalty on the withdrawal unless ABI you have the plan that has a loan that comes with it. Where if you take the loan now, ABI loan now will take Utiano back, and you have to, have an agreement with them to make good that money that you took from them. Then you start paying, and it's not going to attract, any tax and
penalty.
Yeah. So say Harry will be so the fauna odi idea na boa.
Yo, I'm saying okay, go ahead, Harry.
Yeah, so I think what Daniel said was true, but Daniel came from the tax perspective, said you are deferring your taxes, right? So it's the same way with me, like I said, I'm deferring my income, right? Maybe I me make 100,000. I know, say, me this 60 years, remember at that time now, just relying on social security, right? So I'll be earning only, let's say, about 2,000. So my income never tax, I mean, that to move to the higher tax bracket. Only a higher marginal tax rate, me pushy income ni be akweshi. Now me start to say me earn lesser, na the normal, na me tax it stay at the same margin, right? Into if a net income 100 now me making me 20 at 20 every year. Into me new baby na yet ya bring me be my taxes na so at into me tax na so betin na later no me ko use scan na me tax na be sa no na me nini now I don't make any amount of money here, so my taxes will also be less.
Okay. It could be said that time crack said the share no now tax na better sa first bracket which is 10.
First bracket.
That time now will make it be about 32. No, I mean
Yes. So deferred income programs are you defer your income I'll be and then because you may defer for some time and then I'll take it. But Daniel can be on to stress on about people going inside to take it. So when you go inside to take it out, one, they will charge you your taxes at your current tax rate. Into which your federal tax, with your state tax. Secondly, you also be charged the penalty of 10%. I think the confusion I've heard most of the time, they say some people think say 10%, no, when they are taking it out at NIA free or no, at that time, all your taxes are and more calculated the count taxes. Until you scan out, the only thing they take near or taxes now also no, maybe our federal tax anyway. But once we be our taxes, we have to catch our process of tax and people some day say 6,000 a year, the extra 600 I become because of the 10,000 and now 6,000 now per year. So we should be mindful of it. So when you say my me for 1K, now at the end of the we may taxes are you can save that money somewhere. So because you pay that penalty, there is no way you can dodge that penalty. Because the 401k and your savings account. What am I saying? Yes. And I know there's a growing because of the way markets now, there's a growing where people go out and take their 401k. I don't have anything against it, but I just want you to be mindful of the tax implications. Who could you 401k? Two things. One, if you're making 100,000, now could you 20,000 if you 401k more. Or income for the year by 120 and 100,000 billion. Because they classify it as income. So tax brackets in the free 22 are covered 30% because all the income need be account. So one your income
stress honey beam.
The you 401k any year I'll be you 401k be an income amount into a account or current income now we're making. So this year so we're making 100,000 now make you 20,000 may the back may income was. You see, I'm making 120,000, even though you may 100,000 per no.
All of a sudden, at Chumwe free.
At Chumwe free, 24%, at Kobe 28 to 32%.
It's not say, oh, punish, oh, cry.
Yes,
3 times.
And so now, Ube Tiasa 10% penalty of that 20,000, which is 2,000 at the end of all calculative taxes. It's good. People are taking it out on multi-year businesses, but have this at the back of your mind. Say, okay, your taxes are. This is how it's going to affect you. And other implications is going to affect you tax wise. If unja juma now we juma still it's better you rather take it out as in the loan now in kakanka can only deduct if you pay more. But it's more like overco bank about there and then you are paying it to yourself. But to take it outright there, it has to be something meaningful that is going to yield a lot of interest and because the tax implication can be dire. Because I've seen people are Ubikoyi 190,000 and 190 in fact now make it 120,000. So all of a sudden a year who make
310
300 yeah. you know, and we increase your tax bracket, we also submit you a 10% penalty. So let's be very mindful. Into assigning my way now, but yeah, when you tax preparer and I want to accountant, you talk to Daniel, you can talk to me. We can look at how your pay structure is and then advise you on how you can take those monies out. So yeah, that is one thing I'll say about deferred income for 1K near the end. Now about the Roth, I think Daniel explained it very well for us to understand.
Yeah, you know, maybe be America, especially when it comes to 401k name. Sanya Maniamana Bibi American say if you I have different mindset when it comes to those things, usually we get into those things trouble see free any be whereby entire civil emergency fund near there. It's your emergency fund near there. Sometimes boy and say free home. We share the whole thing about 401k Roth we interrupting the crown into me and compound and into me and yet said the open source yeah. It's the BN say you be take hands of it. Nina say I know say sometimes in life, but see you prepare need me a save emergency fund be the because in the life so far as you because it's shocking. Sometimes who reading maybe and I say who numbers be I know him crash to say it be 60% of Americans can come up with be 600 in emergency time. They rely on credit card. I mean, it's shocking. What they do when you crash shim, and I say, what they now for 10 cry now. You can see how much they are making. Like these people, out of them, maybe a 6 cannot come up with a year. I say sometimes they are strange. Say, what will be making? What will make sometimes near the income. No, I won't doing your own problems. It's me taking care of Sandy man. It's for one can the best when you send free home, save emergency fund. Because it's here, it's a kind.
And that is, yeah, I would like Brother Harris said. I mean, sir, emergency bisa abada say be like our brother Befi say bibisa no kra. You can, talk to your plan administrator if you haven't read a plan to understand what is in for you. Sometimes they are good people. They can tell you, say, ubetimi afa loan. Oh, to me, the worst case scenario may be a loan. Because senior kind I mean mobile or yin for 1K in so and I yes tiano bonuses so so you can imagine your tiano bonus bonus you'll be taxed at a higher rate. Oh into nice and nice ufali tax now the cat be brave you are having so much liability debt. So I would say we plan it very, well before we.
Oh, hold on, Mama Johnny. And then my hammy pa. And then hammy. Yo, Kosu Danny. Danny Kosu. I was mute. Who mute, Tino? Kosu.
What I would say is before you.
I'm say when a system you're setting situation, so Kasa will look akra.
Okay.
And picking
okay.
I go back to the radio.
Okay. Yeah. So what I was saying is it's important before you even go in for a loan or you go in to just take money from your plan, the plan administrators too can help you. They can tell you some of the provisions in the planner because that would benefit you. Sometimes they have loan provisions in the worst case scenario. Instead of you just taking out the money, now bet me I will say this plan allows for you to take a loan. That and the expectation of them is also to explain things to you. Now I will say, follow now. You bet me will say kakra. So like Harry said, if you are paying interest on it, it's still back into your own portfolio, your own account. So that's the worst case scenario. And I would say one thing about the 401k is so our company be and I say be a 5% on your contribution now. Just make sure so maxing out because try. He says sometimes most of the times yes, he can instead and endorse be asa. If you why your margin says will contribute 5%, they'll give you, 5% for, or when you are contributing a certain amount. Just make sure you max it. Say at least you benefit, you get, the full benefit of what the company is also providing for you.
Yo, that's a bebre and say mama and yama bebre a bit me tools a bit me de acquire filings nessa nemano. Mamma fa bibi kakra ntwem na afi yama mama ye information kakra content information yen fan to because time season edru de ye ne mo an be I'm say baby edru no ye ko enim kakra ye kra ne ye yinti no. The affirmation of the week, baby. Affirmation of the week, and they say, I am powerful force for good in this world. I am powerful force for good in this world. I am powerful force for good in this world. And in a powerful be our work a in the team contribute to any maybe as near yes no. Say the Indian boy away for free. Knowledge near dear omodema and conform jomus can omodema for free. I bet me a boy. Yo, it's say no, ye say. Danny, I'm say obe introduce you be now with the contact information ni bibia toja. At the same time, with me typing in so any bad. To the tuja na kwasa type. Now we are not your brother Harry so the same thing. And no boy pa. Most people know umbeshan after. They want to get in touch. Yeah.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Senior, me Diane Daniel Laye into me or small business me take care of bookkeeping and tax filing. Into me phone number ni email address contact number 2 chat box in case somebody needs any assistance. Yes, definitely I'll be happy to assist.
Yo. Now who say brother Harry the information to her already. Meaning also obesa kaswa na and so etie and so powerful.
Yeah, so business in the HHP Financial Solutions. And number near 757-637-8778. 757-637-8778. And our core website and so our HHP Financial Solutions. You can book an appointment. I'll say that's the best way you can get to us. We'll make your appointment. You do appointment time now, then we will give you a call. So yeah.
Yo. Etie for to say the canano. Omudomu enyama atuja. Your time kakra nti mo ye mo say omo mayen enyama kakra yen fan say encouragement and I say enyama kakra omu hu e wo yen your community no ma e bia emwa yen especially amafo bo mo be taxes ni ade enti me start brahari to say enyama bi dia na ofi say e bia ke wo se ya na say ni senke ya ye ba mo ho say be tax ye de ba just anya ebi anya de pa ni suban papa ni ade aka bi boy ma yetimi ajai because minim ye se ni yesiti me ma yebi da be ko for so bia me 5000 chimi tua de ni se bitua eti no de na problems I bia am face ni those things no ebi ni de here betimi.
Yeah, I think that mostly and yes bia and yes my papa, but most of the time me what I've encountered here, they don't know, they don't understand. Especially Ubia no your W2 or Wija 1099 and Wija will be on one business. Not they expect a refund, right? As I said, the refund comes in 2 ways. So yeah, W2 they are withholding, any credits in the refund, bro. Your business if you don't have any credit, a refundable creditor, there is no way you are getting a refund unless you made estimated payments. And to be 2021 now or your W2 until your year taxes no near being 3,000 B. 2022 no started on one side they give you your deliveries and or your Uber, right? Or be file tax no expect to be near that same 3,000 and even more. But mostly your businesses are and now your business what you are looking for is for your taxes to get to zero. You don't want to owe the government because you've not paid any money to the government. So without having any credits, all you're looking for is to have a zero tax liability. But most of them they feel say we are going to we have 7,000, and then I mean zero. It's because Oye Juma and Omeki withholdings at all. And Messi Sudiabium understanding the credit versus the deductions, any deductions will be and make sure you understand. I think Obiban Hobe can some credits be also pay. I think that credit calls for businesses when back on your individual or say Nadam for this union as our credit and also pay the same credit, right? So taking time to educate them on the differences between the credit and the deduction and why they qualify or they don't qualify. Dan says something, and yeah, sometimes Emma, people don't really like you because you break down and
You're telling
explain
them
to
the
them.
truth.
Yeah, they want you to do it for them right away, but I think we have put ourselves out there. So we will educate you before we do anything for you to understand what goes on in your taxes. So that's for me. That's the three key things.
Right.
Understand what goes on in your taxes. Make sure say wage ejuma now start a business. You are not really expecting a refund because a refund be your credit. So it's more of getting to a zero tax liability. That is it. And don't look at Ubine taxes. Obiaye different. Many than you me the same job, you make it the same amount. Obeying the taxes will be 4,000. Maybe my taxes mean 1,000. My situation is different from the situation. Minimum student loan bill to minimum net than interest to also minimum the property tax. So the fact that we are making the same money and having the same withholdings, doesn't mean say our refund should be the same. So and no na make afa side man.
Yeah, I think, thank you, Brother Harry. I will put just a quick one, two out there, and I'll touch on two main things for people, like to take away a few things. First of all, there are a few common mistakes people, do in that, in filing their taxes that could result in delays in their refund, additional tax payment, or even receive IRS notices. So one of them is also not choosing the right filing status. Okay, you need to understand whether you are doing married filing jointly, separately. You need to understand the mechanics and how that works. Talk to your accountant about it. You also need to understand, say, if you input incorrect social security number for yourself, it can result in delays, or even your dependents. You have kids and you input their incorrect social security, it can involve, result in delays and also, waste your time. And then also when you marry and there is a name change, before you use the new name when you are filing your taxes, ensure that you have updated your social security records with the social security administration before you file, you use the name, on your tax returns. Okay, and also make sure, say, like Brother Harry said, all the credits and deductions you claim, make sure you understand it before you sign off on the tax returns. Also, there are few math errors for those who are not using electronic filing. I suggest you use electronic filing. And also, get your bank routing number. Make sure the routing number is correct, because the IRS usually would want you to correct that before they send you money. The other thing too I would say is, don't forget to sign and date your tax return, because if you don't do it, they will bring it back to you electronically. Usually you can get that done
Done.
electronically. Last thing before I end is few tips for you to avoid tax scams. Okay, note that the IRS will not contact you via phone, email, or over social media to request personal or financial information. The IRS does not send a text message to you offering things like tax relief, tax credit, or help setting up online account. Look out for fake emails or website. When you receive such emails, make sure that you don't click anything just like that. Also, phone scams impersonating the IRS, often threatening you, say you have to pay, otherwise you'll be arrested, and maybe sometimes they threaten you to tell you, say, you'll be deported. No, no, no. IRS doesn't do that. They don't leave any pre-recorded agent or menacing messages for you. They don't do that. Okay. Also, the IRS also would always, most of the times, mostly initiate contact to you through regular mail delivered by the U.S. Postal Services. Somewhere, usually that's what they do. So I just want filers to know this. Thank you.
Yo, with a quick one, just 2 minutes per, and yet part of a year. Ebia beginning of the year. Now, we presume say Ebia income is gonna be around maybe 100 or 120. Be a change of job. Maybe that happen within that time. No, after that, no, what hit be be 170. Why what started road, right? And I know, so this year the road name says up about 155. And in that situation, what do you do?
Your W-4, anytime there is change in your income, and all that, I would say, sir, you use your what we call it, the withholding tax estimate. Like if you have the website, go there, estimate how much withholding taxes or how that change impacts your household. Sometimes you have a family, so your wife too is making income.
No, but
That
you don't qualify for your friend said the Roth because at that time I know say you can do the backdoor Roth, which and only after
Oh, you are
every
talking about, oh, okay,
yeah
okay, okay.
and in that situation, what do you do? Say you don't qualify because you've made more than the limit, which is 155 this year, I believe. If I'm right, 155. You've made
So
more than that. But in the beginning, now year no fees was settled. You've been doing every month be then after the end of the year, no one's swabro. So what do you do at this point? Is there a form to fill or a question will be the mommy? Is there a
no,
form to fill? And I said,
wait a minute, because usually I won't say the most HRs usually check this limits even for you.
no,
I
because
mean,
mostly Roth, you doing it Roth outside the
Yeah,
company.
outside the company, yeah.
Ehen.
So and no, the
oh,
only thing, yeah,
okay.
you don't get the tax benefit when you're filing the taxes. Once a Roth, is for the tax benefit when you're filing your taxes.
Mhm.
Into file your amount a little tax benefit for that 6,000 or whatever you put into Roth, but once you go over the limits, with your taxes now, it won't calculate that tax benefit for you. So yeah, your Roth will be there will be an case you Roth and I'm through same, but the tax benefits that it gives you, So let's say if it reduces your tax by 2%, that 2% reduction you won't get it. You pay the full taxes that you need to pay. Because Roth is a way for more make less than 155. We're maxing for 1K
Yeah.
by 20,900.
Mhm.
But skaka crying up so saving taxes and acquire Roth so that the man
Yes,
that
sir.
tax
Yeah,
benefit
but I said Roth is after tax.
after tax. But
Uh-huh.
still amount tax benefit. Until no limit in this one,
It's
that's
not limit. So,
6,000.
okay.
Yeah. Until and one said that tax benefit you get with the Roth, you are not going to get that tax benefit.
Okay. Because in a
But your money
situation,
can still be in the Roth.
in a situation, I'm going to say usually obi on until at the end of the year, and then they do the backdoor
Yeah,
Roth,
yeah,
which they do
yeah,
IRA, and then normal turning back to the Roth.
yeah.
Okay. I'm say very insightful. Yeah, more information from Hopa with the there must be brave. Dear kakra me so meka ne sɛ yɛn nyinaa nim sɛneɛ ɛsi kɔ yɛ kurom especially yɛ community no hearsay no ɛnɛ yɛ clarify ne nyinaa wɔ ha ɛna wei nya sei ɛma obi goals ɛnyɛ wo goals ɛna wei yɛ sei yɛakyerɛ m sɛ the same people between ayɛ adwuma the same thing the same amount obiara de different because obi otua student loan obi wɔ house otua interest the interest rate is different from what the moment now we could say more house but interest rate no different nti so obiara ne sɛ ne besi ayɛ nti usually me am base on yeah pesade ndo de bia we nya say nti wo se me say so wontimi ma me say dia sɛ wo de wonim adwuma no ɛnyɛ saa na teɛ usually ɔmo kra na ɛyɛ na ɛka no kra na kyerɛ de obi wɔ no a wɔn care ne de wokɔ yɛ ɔbɛyɛ ama na de asɛm ba very good. So you are saying your information, your contact on BBA or Honor. We will be a China Beshad and BBA also get in touch with them. With the dear foom, our Nimsania, we know between a bow. And then yet tax and qua in nano, yeah, you hear accountants, ne sign them on between a boy, Nina BBO no mutimi. Hey, Mrs. Subium, affirmation of the week. Nay, I'm very I am a powerful force for good in this world. I am a powerful force for good in this world. Eti you make sure say this year yen koye bibia na ba betro yen stay calm. You make sure say ye de wose ye. De bia bu hu na yabe ne atro na de a whole lot aba. Metoa me yusu kakra de bia meka no. De bia ya na hieska because yen to ye nema yi. See ye stay focus. You make sure say your emergency fund and your cheap. You make sure say you stay out of debt. You make sure say you improve your financial kakra. You stay within our means. We don't spend more than what we your friends say we make all the time. No, you see, edit 2 years. Most of the time you get in trouble all because of Sanya Maniama way. Uniska emergency fund. We share the number of people who are they live on paycheck to paycheck. They are now cry in this country over 60%. Sometimes team cooperative, team crackers 78. It's a whole lot, but it's not about the money and not the income. Income need to make it by intimi. ɛhwɛ so yie ti hwɛ we nyinaa so yie a de bia ma sɛ yɛkɔ pressure tax yɛkɔ yɛ ne akonya kɛseɛ na de asɛm aba once again yɛbɛda your brother Danny and your brother Harry ase so mbɛka yɛn ho no mboa yɛn moma bibia yɛ clear sesei no bibia nyɛ yibia bibia so bibia betumi de ato chat box no information bibia hɔ a obetumi afrɔb no my way sene de bia yɛde end no make sure say you spend wisely, you save intentionally, and give generously. Give no de bia yɛka ɛnyɛ sika nko a ne giving bibia wɔ mmoa bia betumi de aboa community no so betumi de aboa nti ebɛkɔ commercial break mo antie nka bi mu a na bye bye High Life Radio na otis kasem program your boy Patrick Berfi you be home same time next week 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sikasem program you any event wahaya